Microphone. Okay, now it's working. Yeah, I just had to be connected with the VR since the microphone's on the VR. Let's make sure that's working on the stream. Cool. Get rid of that sound now. Gonna chill here for a second. Drink some water. Okay, let's see. We're going to go wild today. Variant, I don't think there's any variants. I think it's just a bunch of liveries and stuff. Excuse me. All the textures loading in. We're going to go to Donnie T's model. Because honestly, there's no other way. No other way. Let's see. Oop, okay, that was weird. Okay, saving back. Damn, this thing's got some fucking range on it. We're gonna end today. That's right, that's that little bitty fucking thing. Helipad Beach Club. Okay. Anyways, I want to end today up here. All the way on this northern coast. Set as arrival. Honestly, this kind of looks like fun here. They've got this whole path set up. So we're going to add all of those to it. Let me remove. Add. I like by the coast. Looks like a lot of cool stuff. Pretty mountainous. Good mixture. Some cloud stuff. Maybe we'll do an approach. There's a fuck ton of helipads here, so we'll pick a few of those and bounce around. Maybe hit the international. Come around and party. Okay, cool. Flight conditions, we're still... No, I won't live. It's gonna fuck up all my waypoints. Yep. Okay, sick. We're gonna run it. Start flight. 2. GPS. Yeah, a little early. I figured mine as well. And look. Where's me mouse? Oh, well. Welcome, everybody, to the Sikorsky S76C++. We're using the Donald Trump livery because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm sure there's other liveries, but why not do the S76 and the Donnie T? Which I don't know if it's this one, but he has 2 of these. Had 2 of these. But one of them is or was for sale here recently. Let's see, we have 4 rotors. Jesus, this tail rotor's huge. Pretty well modeled. I want to kind of look around at this thing too while we're here, you know. Oh, let's scratch these eyeballs a little bit. Kind of dirty, but you know, whatever, I'll deal with it. That mesh up there, I assume some sort of oil cooler or something like that because the exhaust is up top, obviously. Wow. Very nice. Good extended off pitot tubes. Actually, I can walk around my thing, or I can look that way now. Huge rotor system up top. 4 blades. We have lead lag set up so that way it allows it to go one way or the other when it's flapping and changing its center of gravity with the Coriolis effect. Because when it tilts up, it moves the center of gravity in, which means it wants to spin faster, so that little thing allows it to spin a little bit. Wow, very cool. I'm curious what the extra stuff on top is. I need to look into their rotor systems. Very cool. I'll wait for you to get back. Let's see. Let's get seating position figured out in here. Alt. Okay, let's start here. Got a shit ton. Does the light work? Oh. Oh, Tom's here. Very cool. Also, I don't care. Because it looks like it was going to be anywhere. That's the place I want it directed. Yep, do your thing. Fix your bike if it's something fixable. Let's see, reply to a text. Because we're kind of waiting for everybody also. Are you back, GPS? I assume that means you're back. Oh wait, you said never mind. Just won't be so active. Okay, anyways, welcome back. S76. Can't click on the mag light, that sucks. Let's see, let's figure this out. Okay, have compass things, non-clickable. Headset stuff, don't care. Squawking stick trim, interesting. Not going to be a thing for me. Cabin door, they have a lock button. Cool. Radio autopilot buttons. We may try messing with that, but I don't think so. I'll do that in a shenanigan session to figure that out so we don't mess up our flight. Autopilot box. This is very airline style. I don't care. Flight instrument lights. Barrier filter. I guess that tells you how clean the sand filters. Searchlight, landing light, main rotor lights. That's cool. So that way people don't fucking walk into it. Anti-collision, strobe, and high intensity searchlight. They have those tagged wrong. Let's see. Icing panels, windshield, washers, pitos, interior lights. Okay, here we go. Here's power. External power, don't have that. Master switch, alternator, DC's battery. There's our battery switch. Avionics switches, radio inverters. Test panel, floats, don't care. Landing gear, sick. Cool, so the starter's on an on-off switch. Because we have a battery and we have a starting thing. But we don't have any throttles. They're up here. Okay, we have fuel control. Those are shutoffs. Those are throttles. I don't know why they're... Oh, because my hand throttle's there. Okay. Engine control. Test detectors. Aft forward. Okay. This looks pretty simple. Not. But, I think we can figure this out. Let's see. I guess a little bit of water first. I'm going to use my mouse. So we have battery here. I'm going to flick that to on. Let everything start waking up. Okay, so we have gauges. We have engine oil, engine 2, main gearbox. We have warnings and stuff there. N1 torque, N2, my throttle's down, sick. So we will need starter on. Don't need to touch anything else there now. As far as ignitions go, starter should be a little button under here. Do we have fuel something? Engine 1 prime, okay. What's this? Oh, sick, I can get rid of those. Thank you. Engine 1 prime, open. Engine 2 prime, open. Is there another direction? No, just that. Okay. We're gonna need those on. Okay, fuel on there is on. Those are back to idle. Which I want you off. Engine starter 1 on. Let's watch our... What does it sound like? Cool, we have that. Engine 1 oil pressure is good. So we're going to turn alternator 1 on in a second once this thing is fully lit off. N1 is at 51%. I like that. Now we're going to take this one here, roll it to idle. Turn the starter on it. Should see its numbers increasing. Yep. Wait for its in numbers to level off. Okay, that alternator can go on. I believe we can turn primers off. Engine controls into auto. That's good. We can turn our that's pressed up in there on accident. I believe we can turn starters off. It's weird that this screen's not working. I do have the avionics switch on. I'm slowly rolling up the throttles here. Managing my torque here, want to keep it low. What I want, this looks like rotor speed there, or the output N1 and N2, the N2 output. Engine prime off, battery test, nav. That's good. It says AC generator. The T5 is going up way too fucking fast. Turbine sounds. Fuck yeah. Okay, so that's all leveled off. Am I sitting straight? We're kind of to the right or to the left a little bit. Let's see, we got an AP1, AP2 lights. Let's go in and click those on. Which changed our outputs for some reason. Don't know why. I'd rather have the radar altimeter on, but it's not a thing. Why are we so high? Do I need to turn you guys off, or are you just fucking with my settings? Let's see. Weird. I don't know why the AC1 button there is on. I'm going to take the parking brake off real quick, which is down there. Okay, we're able to move now. Except I do not want to be going that way. Oh, there's Blackhawks there. Let's see. My fuel's okay. It seems like everything's leveled off now. That's a weird run-up thing. The AC generator, though, is bugging me. Because I would assume we need to turn that off once we start. But, we'll fly a pattern real quick to see if it changes. Oh, shit. We'll fly a pattern real quick to see if that happens to change anything. So we're using a shit ton of torque just to hover here. Hello. Strange. I'm using a fucking load of right pedal here, which shouldn't be this hard. Wind looks negligible. Okay, cool, whatever. Wookie, what's going on? Take the gear up even though we're still low right now. AC gen. Is there a button or something I'm missing somewhere? We'll fly a pattern, see if it goes off real quick, and then we'll land. Just check, because this is our first time dealing with this helicopter. So yeah, I just bought this model. $38 fucking dollars. Current speed 100 knots. Okay, cool. Let's make a right pattern real quick. Yeah, I don't know how much the Black Hawk model cost. It's probably 30 bucks or something. That's typically what DLC things are. The reason this particular one was so expensive is because they also developed the autopilot while developing this, and it's going to get back added to all the other Cowan models that have autopilot type systems in their cockpit. So that's the reason for that. But yeah, Black Hawk. Don't know if I'm going to get it yet. I mean, unless somebody buys it for me, then obviously I'll get it, but we still have another 100, feels like 100 days. We're at episode 50 today, by the way, but we still have another 50 plus episodes worth of shit to do. And it's like we're just now getting the S-76, so yeah, it can wait. You know, it's not like it's necessary to continue the series. Oh, it's 38 bucks too? Yeah, 3 variants. It comes with some ground things too, like some locations and missions and stuff, so it's well worth the money. Like, I mean, I think I paid fucking 60 bucks for the H160 or the H145 or something like that. Or I think I paid more for the H145 because it came with the missions and stuff as well. So but also, these Black Hawks and stuff are visible on the map when I was selecting the location. Which is weird. we're going to plop her down over here. See if we can figure out our AC generator light. Park close to these Blackhawks over here just to see. And park and brake. Heh. Okay, AC gen. Let's see. DCSS. Fuel pumps, lights. Or the inverters are failing there. Okay. Let's see if I take. Okay, that got rid of that. Still don't know why this isn't on. That should be on. But whatever. This is the S76 C++. With the Donnie T livery on it. Very cool. My dog's running down here now. Okay, sick. We still got plenty of fuel. I'm not even going to worry about adding any of that back into it. Let me put my tablet up over here next to Maria. We're going to do whatever their little tour of this river and stuff is, since we got a lot of gas with us. And, yeah, we're going to call that good and go up and get to the very northwest corner of this island. Guess let's see, park and brake coming off down there on my left. I am settled in. I am almost hydrated. I am now hydrated. Okay, to Abbey, Somazar, whatever fucking airport this is helicopter 420 Foxtrot Whiskey. We are picking up from the Hawks, and we are going to depart to the southwest, direct from the ramp. Yeah, their T5 is really weird here. We should not be pulling anywhere near that much. This thing should have a lot of power left on the table. Yeah, a lot of shakes the VR. While for me, it's pretty smooth. Like right there, I was just adjusting my headset a little bit. So for me, it's pretty fucking smooth. The downside for you guys is, as I talk, my whole face jiggles, because that's just how talking works, apparently. So you get a little bit of movement. I was running a smoother on it in the earlier episodes, but the smoother made it worse. It made it like laggy instead. So it's kind of a thing where I don't want to say y'all have to deal with it, but you kind of got to deal with a little bit of shake. because the smoother that I was running just didn't seem to want to agree with this. So let's even this up. See how our trim ball works. We should have a trim ball, that little green T emblem on the bottom of our attitude indicator here. So this right here should be our string. So if we're way over here, yeah, we gotta even her up and stay in course. 136 knots. Decision height set at 200, which that's in the radar altimeter here. We'll set at 100. We'll slowly figure out this bird as we go. Also, it looks like there is some sort of auto trimming thing, because I'm trying to even up my pedals in real life here. Maybe, or maybe it's just super sensitive to how much they move, because I'm barely moving these things on my setup. Anyways. We're still going good here. We're going to continue on this course, get down to our custom location, and make a turn to the right. Be 150 knots, this thing's a cruiser. Which we're lower altitude right now, so we have a bit more leniency on speeds. If we go higher, we lose some of our V&E speed. I'm curious if so I didn't download 4Flight because 4Flight's an Apple product, or it's not an Apple, but it's Apple exclusive. And I am an Android user. I'm curious if this will have winds aloft for here. Let's see. Oh well. Okay, let's focus back. A bit off track. So we'll turn left a wee bit. We can throw a wee bit more power at it. No lights on. That's just saying emergency power's off right now. That's good. We don't need emergency power. Okay. I got a little light to me. Autopilot's off. That's fine because I don't want to fuck with that yet. Oh cool, we got ground speed on the bottom right there. That's nice. So yeah, hope everybody's doing good. Sorry for not streaming as much recently. It's been a mix of real weather, not playing friendly with us, as well as actually flying helicopters in real life. You know, taking up time. So yeah, all these little points up here, it's all part of their Malaysian tour thing. I might leave those turned on. Usually I don't like keeping these points turned on. But since the reason that we're coming over here is because they have all these pre-marked out. Where did I buy this one? I got this one in the marketplace. This helicopter. I assume that's what you mean. Yeah, weather's been wild the past few days, and yesterday, day before, Thursday? Oh no, today. today I was supposed to do my cross country because I'm currently at 18 hours. Which he said I should be good to solo right now, but with the Robinson, because of the SFAR-73 regulations, I have to have 20 hours of Robinson time before I solo. Yeah, lightning was wild yesterday. But I've got to have 20 hours in a Robinson to solo, so I'm at 18 currently. We're doing a cross country. Not tomorrow. I think Tuesday is the day that I'm booked for the cross country. That'd be from here to Macon, or from KHMP Speedway down to Macon, MKMCN to Thomaston KOPN, I believe. Then back up to Speedway KHMP. Getting that done, that also puts me some more work in a Class Delta with a control tower. Okay, this will be the beginning of the tour thing at Pram Banana Temple Compounds. So yeah, that'll be across country. Since we didn't fly today just because weather was around everywhere and not good. I still went up there today. And we did cross-country planning, which I posted a picture in the Discord. I'll get back down to Columbus eventually. If not during training, it'll be after training, because then I'm just building hours. But in training, I'm trying to be very deliberate with what I'm spending hours doing, especially once I'm solo and I don't have the instructor just telling me to go somewhere. But yeah, so we started doing the cross-country planning, so picking where we were going, putting it on the map, doing heading, distance, time, wind corrections, temperature and altitude corrections, etc. Once we did that as well, we figured out our time to do all those, the fuel we would use, landmarks, necessary altitudes for any obstructions. What else? Getting all that figured out, fuel burn, fuel planning. Sorry, adjusting my headset there, weight and balance, all of that stuff. And then with all of that, if we would have the available performance to actually take off and land different places, which isn't that big of a deal here because we're taking off at an airport with an elevation of 882 feet. But if we were going somewhere like in the mountains where it's 6,000 or 7,000 feet, we might not have the ability to do in-ground effect or out-of-ground effect hovering at different places, depending on weight, depending on temperature, depending on density altitude. Okay, very cool. Next place here is Coliseum. So yeah, we did all that planning today, and he taught me how to do all of that, which I knew a lot of it, but a lot of the other stuff, it was things I didn't think about necessary for planning, but makes sense. So I've already done a practice trip since I got home. The planning went out up through the mountains and everything. From there, this next time I go fly, we will be doing the actual cross country itself. Literally just a building, okay. We'll be doing the cross country itself, Macon, Thomaston, and back. Thoughts of the chopper that crashed into the airliner? Are you talking about the one in DC? I'm assuming Pat 25 and whatever the American Eagle, American Airlines commuter jet was. I assume that's the one you're talking about. It was a Black Hawk's fault, plain and simple, helicopter issue. The corridors that move through that area are very, very specific, and they were higher than what their altitude should have been. So really nothing there, just a building. So yeah, 100% helicopter's fault. There were a few contributing factors to it that I can see. One, mid-time pilot, obviously. I think she was under 1,000 hours. I want to say she was like 600-700 hours, which apparently is like the dangerous level, to where like you feel good and comfortable, but you're not as good as you think you are. Allegedly. But yeah, helicopter should have been at 200 feet, and they were at like 310 or something, I think. Don't quote me on that, but they were supposed to be at 200, but they were higher. So the Blackhawks have a couple of different ways of getting their altitude. One is a radar altimeter, which is this thing right here. What it is, it's a little radar transmitter on the bottom that kind of just distance measures how far you are from the ground. Then you obviously have your barometric altimeter, which you set per the airport. So I don't know if they were off on the airport, if she wasn't paying attention, and they were, let me get my laser pointer. When they were up here, their max altitude was like 1,200 feet. And let's say the airport's down here. When they were up here, their max altitude was 1,200 feet. When they got down here, their max altitude would have been like 700, then 300, then 200 for when they were near the airport. So they had to go through some different steps to do that. They were also flying under night vision. This was a night vision currency training, or currency checkup, or something like that. If you've never used night vision, then you may not understand completely how it works and what everything looks like. But they asked for visual separation. Tower gave them visual separation, and they said that they had the aircraft in sight. Now, when you're using night vision, BRE, welcome in, Mr. Sixpearsome. You don't think that was good for the helicopter. Night vision, your field of view is only like from here to here. It's very directional. So when they said they had something in sight, if they weren't looking over here, the airplane coming in, they wouldn't have seen it. So yeah, I just don't think they were completely aware of everything that was going on. They weren't aware that I don't think they were aware that the airplane was doing a circling approach to 3-3. Tom's mom is fat. We still own that, of course. Let's see. Yeah, it's tunnel vision. So if they weren't looking out that way, which if she's unfamiliar with flying night vision, because if it's a training or currency flight, a lot of times they're not flying with night vision unless they specifically have to. Then there's no reason for them to be out and about doing stuff. So there's a chance that they only use it once every 6 months or once a year. So at that point, she could have been very locked in. And if she was very locked in watching her standard altimeter while it was maybe not set correctly for the airport that they were near, then they could have been off that. The altimeter was moved like 0.2. Let's just say it was a 2992 is standard altitude. So let's say the airport was at that. But let's say they had been set at like a 2997, which isn't a huge difference for just an hour or two difference, or a reading from a different airport just up the street that they had maybe gotten weather from, then that could put them off that amount of altitude for that to be an issue. So when you're talking 100 to 200 feet, I mean, that's 0.1 difference. So yeah, 2992 to 3002 or 2982 would have put them 100 feet up or down, which isn't a huge thing. Let's see, right now we're maintaining about this altitude, and so right now we're at 2992. Just go up to 3982, so you see how much my altimeter changed there. We dropped 100 feet. Just like that. So if they were slightly off, then that could have done that. She was fixated on target. I think they were trying to blame it on altimeter and not her. If the altimeter was malfunctioning, then yes, that could have been an issue. But usually, whenever you take off from whatever airport you're at, as you're turning the helicopter on and you're going through everything, you preset your altimeter to what you know field elevation is. So when I hop in the helicopter at Speedway at Henry County Airport, I set my altimeter to 882 feet, which will show me like 2992 or 3002, whatever, you know. Then we listen to the METAR, to the ATIS setup, and they say cool, altimeter's at 2994, and then we just tweak it a little bit. So there is slight variation and whatever. So if they were off, they should have, I don't want to say they should have caught that, but it would have been known. That's also such a slight altitude thing for them to be flying in to get through that area, which I'm surprised it's even 200. Or I'm surprised they were even trying to be at 200. It's 200 and below. If I was flying there and it was me, I would be I would be skimming the fucking water, knowing that airplanes are on approach through there. There it is, you're working now, audio fixed. So yeah, if the altimeter's wrong, I don't want to say they should have seen it. But also, if they were 20 feet off and if she target fixated on something else, maybe she wasn't paying attention and gained a little bit of altitude here. It's not that hard to gain 100 feet, especially in something as powerful as a Black Hawk. I can do it in an R-22 that's fully fucking loaded relatively quickly if you're not paying attention. Just because you may have good air, you may have a slight little bit of headwind coming at you, or a breeze coming up the river. Anything could add a little bit here or there, but I feel like in that area you should be super on your shit. Target fixation also, they're watching a million different planes on approach. There's a million different lights. When you see a light heading directly at you, it doesn't move. So when they have 30 planes that are in approach and they have lights coming in, you can't tell. A lot of contributing factors. At the end of the day, the helicopter was too high. They haven't released the audio from the helicopter, although they have released the conversation from their voice recorder of the helicopter. And if you want to be sexist or you want to be whatever, then you can be like, woman pilot, sure, whatever. But I feel like we kind of need to hear it if we want to make a judgment on that. Because there are times when I'm flying slightly low or slightly high, and my instructor's like, hey, watch your altitude. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But when they wrote it out, or like if he were to say like, hey, you need to be 100 feet lower, and if I say, oh, okay, if they type it out, oh, period, okay, it looks like I'm being super fucking, oh, okay. And the way they wrote it out for the transcript makes it look like she said, oh, okay, like she was being fucking snarky. So if you just want to lean into the women shouldn't fly thing, then it reads very much like that. But I don't know. Wasn't there. Haven't heard the fucking thing. Aging equipment and at ATC, you guess also. Yeah, and apparently the frequency for the helicopter and the frequency that was for the approaching planes and stuff is a different frequency. I don't know if it's the same controller, but it's like the same control team. The whatever local controller would be handling that. So I don't know if it's a one-person thing doing local control or two-people thing. Whatever it is. I don't know if there's a lack of communication between them, or if they just assume that when you tell a military helicopter to fly at 200 feet, they're going to fly at 200 feet. Like I said, the whole praising military pilots thing is kind of old to me, kind of annoying. You talk to a lot of like people who do helicopter stuff professionally, whether they're just starting out as a tour pilot or they've been in forever. And if they were never a military person, like the first question people ask when you say like, oh yeah, I fly helicopters, it's, oh cool, were you in the military? People just assume military is the only helicopter thing. And guess what? There's a super low barrier to entry. Or no, that's the wrong way to put it. There's a super low amount of military helicopter pilots who are actually high-time pilots that get a lot of flying in. A lot of, like, for instance, one of the guys that I've met at the flight school that I'm going to, he's a Black Hawk pilot. Like, currently in the National Guard as a Black Hawk pilot, flies once every month or once every couple months or whatever. He's been in for 7 or 8 years, and he has 200 hours. That's it. Like, I've gotten 20 hours in, like, 10 days of flying. He's got 200 in, like, 8 years, which is not a lot. To put it in perspective, to fly tours at the Grand Canyon, which is considered an entry-level job, you need 1,000 hours. To fly for most medical companies, whether it be like Air Evac Life Team, Air Methods, or something like that, you need anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 hours of flight time, depending on the company and depending on the helicopter platform that you're going to be in. If it's something like the H-130s, then 2,000-ish, the Bell 206, 2,000-ish. But if you're flying something like a 135 or 145 or an S-76 like this, it's usually a 2,500 to 3,000 hour requirement to fly. If you're flying Blackhawks or the big Sky Cranes or Chinooks, the typical hour requirement is 3,000 to 3,500 hours. Mostly of PIC time, which is pilot in command, so second in command, like Maria here, would not count. Yeah, the Vietnam chopper pilots are crazy. They got a lot of fucking time, too. But also, they're good pilots, but they're also the hardest helicopter to fly just because it's so bare, minimum everything, no hydraulic assist, no nothing. But he's flying the 44, which allegedly is slightly easier. I haven't flown the 44, couldn't tell you. Tom may be able to chime in. 44, slightly easier than 22. Apparently this Black Hawk pilot, I don't know how many hours he has in the 44, but my pilot was saying, or my instructor was saying that this guy was having some issues hovering the 44. And you talk to a lot of flight instructors that deal with military pilots coming into the civilian world, that they have issues adapting to a lot of stuff because of Black Hawks, what, 1,400 horsepower in the Lima models? Or something like that, a stupid amount of power. And then you look at a 22 and it's like, cool, you have a 124 horsepower, 131 for your 5-minute takeoff power. And with a max gross weight of 1,370 pounds. So if it's you and an instructor, me and my instructor are basically at max gross weight every single time that we fly. Because we want to take off and we want to fly for an hour and a half or 2 hours. So we put as much fuel in there as it can take. Stupid model things, I got a fuel, air, and spark, and a lot of those which run. You have compression. Fuel, air, and spark are necessary, but to make all those work, you also need compression. Also, Mr. Six Spear Thumb, if you're still in here, he is talking about a desert bike, which I know you are a desert bike person as well. So I don't know if you have any suggestions. It's some stupid. Also, to check in that same zone of things to check, make sure it's appropriately gapped. It should probably have like a 35 to 45 thousandths gap between it and whatever magnets that it's sensing on the actual crank or camshaft itself. Those would be my my suggestions. I'm gonna summit this fucking mountain. My radar altimeter's just beep, beep, beep. Bud, you're close to the ground. Bitch, I know. That's why I'm here. We did it! Back on course. We're just going to keep this altitude to the next mountain. Jeez, we're at 10,000 feet. Fuck, this mountain's bigger than I expected. It runs under throttle, but it won't idle. I'm going to assume the timing off is there an adjustment. Oh, cool, it auto-adjusts my V&E for altitude. That's sick. Love that. Does it have the thing where you can twist the sensor left or right to change the timing for where the sensor picks up the input at? But anyways, yeah, back to the whole military helicopter thing. Vietnam pilots, super fucking badass pilots, and a lot of them can tell you a helicopter can do something, but they can't tell you why. But understandable, you know, like they obviously went to some sort of schooling or whatever out there, or before they were deployed for whatever they needed to learn. But then they just put in a couple thousand hours and got out, and this was before there was a whole bunch of school type things to learn. It was your military training would directly cross over at different times, you know. You've done everything except reset the throttle position sensor. Got a bit of a tailwind currently. 9 knots, quartering right. Altitude and more or less put my collector down. That one, boom, and now on the course. I can get rid of that now since we've done the tour part, and now we just continue heading like 280 or something. And we'll slowly lose our altitude while we're here at it. Definitely sounds like an electrical issue then. At least in my silly brain, I'm thinking electrical issue. .17 knot tailwind right here, hell yeah. But our V&E is less, but we do have a ground speed of 162. Finally down at a usable altitude for looking at shit, because we are in a helicopter, even though this is a S-76 fucking business missile. I like to fly lower. We're not using autopilot with all the shit, so we're doing it this way. Flex the Donnie T helicopter right here over all these fucking peasants. They like farming for a living. I sell real estate. Slow night tonight, too. It's fucking Saturday? Yeah, today's Saturday. Surprised there's not that many people in here. Let's see. Calendar. Cloud cover, but I can see we have got our VFR visibility, even though it's not much right here. Okay, GPS, adios. Go have fun doing what you do. I'm assuming that you are a prostitute, because you usually just disappear for like 45 minutes at a time. So I posted a link to this in the Cowan Sim Discord, which is the people who made this helicopter. So, oh, you're still listening? Do your customers mind you listening while y'all are doing that stuff, or your clients? John's? No, you're not. So yeah, we'll see if anybody from that Discord pops over and says hello. And if y'all are in here, well, hello. Welcome. But probably not. Numbers look low tonight, which is weird. Saturday nights are usually more people, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Low enough to have a little bit of glitching. So we'll put a little bit of altitude here. We'll keep this for this crossing. Hopefully it smooths up with the jitters. Yeah, much better. We're still at 4,800 feet, so I guess we're kind of plateaued up here at the moment. Still pulling the tailwind. Yeah, Malaysia's not bad. A lot of fucking volcanoes just like randomly throughout the islands. Hawaii, it seems like one volcano per island. Here it's like 30 per island. Different plate boundary, that's for sure. Now that we're over this mountain here, we should be able to descend. We'll be able to pick up a good bit of V&E. Getting down, we'll probably grab 10 more knots of airspeed. We'll take this little valley through the clouds here. Simple as. Yeah, numbers weird tonight. I usually expect more for a Saturday, but whatever, you know. It goes from 2 to 5 to, I think I saw 7 or 8 at one point. Versus the other night, what was it? When we were auto-rotating and doing practice on that, we had like 17 people in here. Unheard of big boy numbers for this channel. Oh, that was just good. Valley's not foggy. It was just that one cloud that made it look like it was. Simple as. But, the S76C++ feels pretty solid so far. My one gripe, if I had any, is look how far the fucking pedals move. Holy shit. Also, it felt like I had a very lacking amount of tail rotor authority when we took off. We weren't overweight or anything. We took off with normal weight, just full fuel. But even then, for the direction that the rotors are rotating, we should have some more right turning capability, and we just didn't. So that felt a little bit low. I can't figure out why our right Garmin here isn't working. All my avionics switches are on. That's ground power, so we're not worried about that. But all my avionics switches are on. So that one should be on. Oh. Just a knob. Okay, so it does work. That's just weather radar. Okay, cool, whatever. So never mind, that screen does work, it was just turned off. That's all navigation stuff. LNAV. VOR identifications. Okay, cool. Don't care about that. Oh, there's a parameter selector for 2. Which we're at 2992 now. I wonder if we change it here, but it doesn't anything. 2995? No, it's so different. Don't want to tune into any airports up here. Ooh, that was on me. See, that's fuel in pounds, burn rate. This thing's a fucking thirsty helicopter. Yeah, I wish the pedals weren't. I mean, I'm moving fractions of millimeters here, and they're moving inches down there. It looks wild. Brake up there. Okay, Tom. See you in a minute. Go have fun. Let's see, we're getting near the big town up here. Kind of. So we'll zoom out here. Again, the big fancy fast helicopter. Expect the episode to be over sooner, but we still selected a decently long trip. So, we won't be over. I'm excited to fly something like this one day. I don't know if I want to. I don't think I want to be a corporate pilot. Yacht pilot would be sick. Right now, being single would be a cool thing to do. Be on a boat. eat good food, fly cool people around, be responsible for an entire program, basically, which I think looks good on the resume on the back end as well. But flying a snazzy helicopter would be a very cool thing to do. I'd be happy with any sort of helicopter-based employment, you know? I mean, obviously, utility work just sounds awesome. Getting to sling load stuff, firefighting, power line construction, maintenance, inspection, any sort of construction that requires lifting, you know, all super, super fucking sick. Which also, I think those develop a whole bunch of very cool skills that are super unique to those jobs. Straight and level, you know. If you're flying tour, you're flying medical stuff. Tours, kind of like the base level of skill, I think. You pick people up, you take them somewhere near max gross weight, and you come back. Of course, you gotta be a good pilot. Not make people motion sick. Be smooth with all your inputs, be smart, make the right decisions, etc. So yeah, you gotta be good. Agricultural pilots, you can usually do that with less hours, but I feel like it's a bit more technically unique with the way that it is. Medical pilots, for a lot of stuff, it's just point A to point B, but you have the mentality of doing it all the time, day or night, as well as trying to get over the mission-specific things where you have the mentality of, boy, I need to go save this person. But instead you need to look at, like, cool, is this a safe flight to do? Because if you go to pick up somebody and then you crash because you got into IMC conditions, then sorry, you just hurt and killed more people when you were trying to save one person. So it's not a mission thing, it's a just do flights. For a lot of that, though, it's just point A to point B flying, but you do get some more unique opportunities to land off airport and get into some very unique pinnacles and confined areas that you need to work with, which is very cool. Agricultural heli flying seems fun. Oh yeah, it's like the closest thing to a fighter pilot. But my instructor was pointing out, he's like, yeah, it's a fun thing to do, but then you do it for 12 to 14 hours a day. And it's just repetition of the same thing. And then also, like, he told me something that was neat that I hadn't thought about, but agricultural turns, that you really don't use your pedals. It's one of the things where when you slow down and you pull back, you're usually all the way down on your collective when you're doing that. But then when you add collective back, it puts in the torque to the system, and if you don't correct it with the pedals, it turns you, and then you let out of it. So it's really, you're turning with your collective, which is neat. It's a whole flow state for all of that. But anyways, different set of skills, but I think it's probably on par with tour or EMS, medical flight piloting. Different level of skills, but still probably same-ish skill set. But you definitely have more responsibility doing EMS and touring stuff, which I think that's why the hour requirement's up there, because they want people to develop that 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 hours worth of responsibility in their flying versus raw skill or just being able to wiggle the sticks appropriately. The heavy lifting seems like something that's a very high-end thing of skills to master, and it's such a different way of doing flying versus school busing people. But when you get to something like boat flying, like on a yacht, it's still very specific set of skills. You know, you have your landing on a pinnacle place and just operating as a pilot, and if you have your A&P to where you can do some maintenance stuff on the helicopter, that's even better, you know. But I feel like a lot of boats, a lot of the cabin crew itself, they're kind of taught to be the ground crew. Like, okay, cool, make sure that everything's either tied down or anything that can blow away is off the deck. You know, be there with fire extinguishers and the fire hoses and everything to be able to put a fire out if something does happen. Know how to be around it, don't walk into the fucking tail rotor, etc., etc. So they're pretty well sorted and taught up on that. But with that said, doing a program like that, depending on what you're doing, you're kind of the man and the pilot at the same time. You're doing chief pilot stuff. You're doing operational officer stuff. You're doing maintenance logging and everything that goes along with it. So I think doing something like that, depending on the level, because there are some ships that have multiple people crews to do the helicopter stuff. Of course, that's all depending on the size of the boat and whatever else, you know. Excuse me. But it's a, I feel like that one would uniquely look good on a resume if you were going to somewhere to attempt to be a chief pilot or some sort of higher end position in the company. Because one, you're not going to be flying as often anyways, being at a higher level, so they're not looking for the person that has 10,000 hours of long line utility experience. They're looking for somebody that has a lot of administrative stuff too, where you know how to look at paperwork, and you know how to do stuff, you know how to manage it, you know how to plan for maintenance and downtime and annuals and everything like that to be appropriate with the usage that your employer and company is demanding. So that would be a unique thing. So I wouldn't be against doing that. It's also a very small number of those out there, so the job market's a lot smaller. There's a big ass mountain up there ahead. Oh. Let's go outside of this thing for a little bit, get some sounds. Very cool with the gear up. I like how it's in the front. Yeah, that rotor system made me curious. I need to look into that. Also, really weird. I think there's a trim thing with this, because this is completely vertical for my my cyclic. I don't know if maybe my controller's not tuned in appropriately. We'll check that when we set down for a break. Which we'll aim for Soemarmo up here. Well, I don't think that's actually a good spot. Our next place is going to be the WICD, International, whatever the fuck it is up here. So we'll set down there, we'll check the controls, because this is straight and level for my cyclic, which is obviously not straight and level. And you can see the stick here is even with pedals straightened up, it's still wild. Okay, that ain't right. Okay, let's get back on course. So I wonder, can I do it here without messing anything up too bad? I think it's... Oh, no, it's fine. It's just... there's a trim or something with this. Let's see, is there anything on the cyclic? So that's straight now, not as bad. Oh no, I don't want that. Then as soon we'll try to land up here somewhere, like WICD. Maybe. Yeah, a little more left. Slowly getting my stick back to center. Okay, that feels more correct. The pedal trim's fucking way. I do have a weird tailwind, left quartering tailwind. But it shouldn't be that bad. Okay, looks like fuel tanks are burning the correct way, so I don't have any sort of weird fuel crossover issue. I don't think these move anymore. Just leave it on. Yeah, because they're still good. Don't want to fuck with that. As far as overall distance on the flight, we are about the halfway mark right now. Yep, it's not running to the fucking ground. We might do a midpoint landing up here. Yeah, pedals seem weird. What is this down here? Nothing I can deal with. motors. So weird. It's about another hour or so with the flight time. Let's see, let's set up a direct to. Direct to 173 nautical miles to our final destination. Current ground speed's 150, so yeah, a bit over an hour. She dead, what's wrong with her? Is it just you can't figure it out, or did you find something that is like a hole in a cylinder or something like that? Or it's a cam wiped or something. Just don't fix it, it's that easy. Locked. Ooh, damn. Was it just flooding enough to where it fucking hydro-locked on fuel? Or was it like something in the oiling system? Then return it. New bike that's not riding, take that fucking thing back. Or was it not a new on it to where it's 50 hours isn't bad. That's not how it works. Even at no hours? That's wild. Fucking start tweeting at Husqvarna. Like, hey motherfuckers, this bike's brand new and I used it gingerly for 50 hours. That's dumb. Guess you should have got a KTM. Okay, we're almost here at whatever this airport is. We're gonna touch down real quick and land. I'll see if I can figure out this fucking weird trim issue. Nearly identical. The Gas is part of them too? I thought Gas was like a fucking cheap Chinese brand. I also have never looked into Gas, so I'm not going to claim to be an expert on that whatsoever. I just thought with a name like Gas it would have been some fucking cheap, shitty brand. Sounds like something. Oh yeah, we make dirt bike brand Gas. Let's see, there's an airport up here somewhere. Kind of off my nose to the right. Gas only made by KTM. Interesting. Oh shit, it's right here. Touchdown. Going to the ramp. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with this fucking cyclic being 7 million miles to the right. Orange Jeep, what's going on? Parking brake going. Let's roll down the throttle to idle. See, this is straight up and down. Its reading is straight up and down. Fuel contamination. Time have you failed to maintain the proper level of blade oil? Yeah, no oil in the tires. Okay, let's see. Settings, controller. Apache R44, hardware settings. No, not keyboard. 44. Hardware settings. So I'm slightly to the right on the middle there. This feels center to me. That's there. Those pedals just feel fucking off. They're right. Just the animation, that's wild. Okay. Oop. Let's see. Roll throttles back up. Snap them up. Torque my ass. Parking brake coming off. We're just gonna pick up. What the hell? Pedals neutral. Don't know why T5 is so high. Come on, fix yourself. You shouldn't have this much hovering with fucking half fuel. Okay, whatever. We're gonna continue on. Gear coming up. Also, I was holding a bit of pretty hard right cyclic there. The wind coming from the back is not that big of a deal. That's wild because we have... Usually you would think left cyclic because of the way the tail rotor is. Weird. Okay, anyways, 157 nautical miles to go. We're going to maintain 150-ish knots over the ground, so about an hour or so left to go. Blade oil. I don't think Tom was maintaining the proper amount of oil inside the triple clamp. Not in the fork, in the clamp itself. Because as you know, that's where they store the oil that's used for the handlebar bearings. So, only makes sense. You think it's a rider issue? Okay, here we go. Let's get straight and level and in trim. Put a right pedal. In trim, straight and level. Look at my cyclic. Why am I having to put this much ride in? I don't think our main rotor has that much of a tilt. We have a forward tilt in it because it's obviously meant for aggressive flight forward, being this one like this. Weird. Check your grounds. You got a ground loose somewhere. Something shorting to ground. What heading am I supposed to maintain? 288. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? I can't open my window? That's not a fucking crash. Piece of shit. Not allowed to open my fucking window in flight? What do you think, guys? Crash? I don't think that counts. I literally just opened my window. Plus, we're like 2 miles from the last place, so the respawn wouldn't be that fucking dumb anyways. to another tester. We're obviously way under speed, 125 knots. Open. Yeah, I can't open the window without it crashing me. That's so fucking stupid. Murray, do not touch your window. No, I just did it again at lower speed. I did a test at well below V&E. Also, this thing doesn't care about V&E. V&E's not modeled. I mean, the actual speed itself's modeled. We can go fast. It just doesn't do anything to us. Here, V&E's variable, so right now 155, we are in V&E. $160. Yeah, they don't have retreating blade stall modeled. Or if they do, it's at a much higher speed. 170. So yeah, I don't think that's the issue. Also, there's something else I was flying the other day and it fucking... Oh no, it's because I set my controller down and the door opened and it said I crashed because the door opened. Yeah, I set my VR controller down and happened to click the button while it was pointing at the door. Oh, well, fuck me. Let's see if this fixes how it handles now that I have autopilots turned on. I'm not going to autopilot or anything, I just want to see if it changes handling characteristics. Really, they shouldn't fucking do anything because we're not set for anything. overspeed me. Nav mode, don't care. All these buttons don't work. Obviously the heading select does not work. We're trying new things dangerously down here at fucking 700 feet. Com volumes. Com volume. Precision high. So it doesn't end up fucking me. Get back on course because I was doing so good. Oh, wait a second. What's this? Oh. Oh. Autopilot manual. Engage or disengage each autopilot computer. Select which flight director drives. Yeah, that's too much. Don't care. Glare shield lighting. Nothing on that one. Get out of here. Don't care. Back to speed. Let's see. Not that exciting of a night for you guys, sorry. But we need to get the legs done, so that's what we gotta do. Which, fingers crossed, I'll be starting a show here in a couple of weeks. Which means the episodes may slow down even more. But I do want to get this done regardless. even if it turns into a year-long project to do 100 and something episodes. .124 nautical miles left, still cruising 160 plus knots. You couldn't be bothered fixing it right now. I was about to say, fuck, it's late, but it's middle of the day for you, so. Lithium batteries? As far as use as the battery in the motorcycle itself, or in some other form? Oh, you need to charge one? Yeah, definitely get a specific lithium battery charger then if you're going to charge one. There's an amperage to draw ratio or something like that that has to be appropriate for them, and I wouldn't want to fuck one up. Would not be on a fun list of things to do. There's people in there with me? Close. Oh. There's a woman in here? Ew. RC charger? I mean, the charger itself would work, but I think it's a different, I would assume it's a different voltage. You know, like the, dirt bike should be a 12 volt battery. It's like 13.5 or 14.6 or something like that as far as like what it actually puts out, or that's the alternator that charges that. But I feel like an RC battery thing, they're what, like 3 volt? If you can adjust it to the correct voltage, then yeah, you should be fine. Is he going to put the amount of amperage that's necessary in there? I don't know. Tutorial. No, because if he watches the tutorial, then he's going to leave my video. Leaving. Oh, we're up at 8 viewers now. Wow, I was about to say leaving us with like 2 people watching. But now that we have 8 people in here, we can afford to lose a Tom for a few minutes if he wants to watch a tutorial somewhere. If there weren't this many people in here, he'd been forbidden to leave. But I think we're good. In my chair. Yeah, that's better. Hello, other 8 people. Welcome to the chat. Please feel free to say hello. Because I'm more than capable, or 7, 6, oh no. I'm more than capable of talking the entire time, but sometimes I need prompting. You guys to ask a question or something, or else I'm just going to sit here quietly. Oop, we're at 6. Wonder how many more we can lose. It's like always whenever I mention the number of people in here, they leave. They become self-aware that they exist and they're watching a stream. Oh shit, I shouldn't be here. 4, see? They're doing it. It's a self-fulfilling unprophecy. Yeah, you should be fine to leave it dead. There should be no issues with that. I mean, can't you Amazon one and get one like the next day, or does Amazon not work in Australia? Oh, speaking of ordering stuff, I ordered a quad lock phone case for my phone, which right now I've got a D brand, which it's okay. But I ordered the quad lock one, so it has that locking feature on the back. As well as the head that it attaches to, and like an offset arm, and the base. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to design it so I can put that on my kneeboard, or design and print a kneeboard where I can put that on there. I've also got some like clipboard heads and stuff like that coming, so that way I can make a specifically sized custom clipboard to where I can clip on the whatever, sectional map. If I wanted to bring a map or have papers or a little pen and pad of paper and whatever. So yeah, I've got the quad lock and stuff ordered and coming in now. So now that I have the Garmin Pilot set up, make a dashboard, and don't get in the way. Talking about like a dashboard kneeboard. If I search dashboard, will it pop up? Yeah, I see like all the standard classic kneeboards were just like strap-in keyboard or strap keyboard with like little pockets and nylon and shit like that. Are you talking about putting the... I don't have an iPad, it's my phone. But I don't want to put mounts on somebody else's helicopter, you know. If I work there, then yeah, sure, I would buy mounts and put mounts there. But I'm not going to put something on there. Okay, I gotcha. So something that would mount. I don't want to say like this here, but something that mounts somewhere on the dash. I gotcha. If I was working somewhere and was using the same helicopter all the time, I would. But this isn't my helicopter and they're not paying me, so I'm not putting anything in their fucking helicopter. Yeah, the little kneeboard that I have that I printed now where it just has like a little pad and pin on it works great. I love the shit out of it. But I wanted a way to put my phone on there, or an iPad mini. If I was able to get an iPad mini for a good price and use ForeFlight, but I chose Garmin Pilot so I could just use it on my phone. Oh, the clip it on so it's like super cheap bullshit. No, I'm a high quality hoe. I'll post like pictures and videos of this idea that I have, and you're like, fuck, that's slick. Yeah, I've got a super cool, I mean, pretty standard, but like a super cool design in my opinion of what I want to do. So it's just a matter of doing it now. Should be relatively low profile as well with how it goes on the leg. I mean, I've seen the clip-on ones before. It's just, it doesn't tickle my pickle. Less than 100 nautical miles to go now. Plus, I have a thing for custom things. And also, the way I'm making this is, I don't want to say unique, but having it set up for the quad lock system makes it to where anybody else could buy the quad lock case and like the head and accessories and stuff. And they could have their own cool D-board, which means it's a sellable product. So I would much rather spend money and attempt to develop something that's better than what's currently offered on the market, in my opinion, because most current D-boards that I see are bleh. And people still like kneeboards, even though dashboard clip-on things, they work and they exist. People still like kneeboards, people still use them. Sometimes they can't use anything else, depending on all the other aspects of it. So I would much rather work on designing something neat like this that could end up being a sellable product. If you have a link to it, send me the link. I'd be interested to see what it looks like. But I've seen things that clip on dashes before, and they have like stronger clamps or like twist-on clamps where you kind of like screw it down to where it holds or whatever, which, cool. I mean, yeah, they work. But I kind of like the idea of the knee board. Can get in the way in the Robbies, but not in a Robbie. You know, you really don't have that issue. Oh, you make them yourselves? Oh, okay. Or if you happen to have a picture of one, send it to me. Either now or whenever you see it again and you think of it again. So are we near the town with all the helipads? Yeah, up there it is. There's one right there. Hospital or something, probably. Yeah, I think so. Yep, some medical place there. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when you see mine, you'll be like, okay, cool, that's kind of slick. And even if it is something where you want to continue using the clipboard thing, or if you're a dash mount person, that's your thing, cool, that's your thing, you know? I can't take what somebody's style is away from them. But I do know that there is a market for kneeboards, and a lot of people just get what the basic one is, but there's some people who sort by most expensive, or some people who look for the cooler options or the more modular options or something like that. And if I'm marketing to people who are flying helicopters, typically people who are starting to fly helicopters have a little bit of money. It's not a cheap thing to get into. And once you're doing it fully professionally and not just like a CFI where you're making bullshit money, then you're making decent money to where you're looking for cool, modular, adaptable things. And if it's something where I can make a modular ecosystem, then I can make a modular ecosystem. But yeah, I'm very much an innovator who would rather design my own thing than just buy whatever off the shelf. I was looking at making my own phone, I don't want to say phone case, but like phone mounting type thing, but the amount of effort that I would have to put into it currently to do it the way that I wanted to wasn't worth it. I do have a design concept idea that could, I don't want to say universally fit any sort of electronic device, because some iPads are fucking huge, and I don't want them, it would obviously be like something for phone size or tablet size. But I came up with a cool way to clamp onto any of those positively to where it wouldn't fall off, that I haven't seen before. It's like, I look at stuff like that, you know, if I can innovate some way or challenge myself to design something that's going to put me off better in the long run anyways. Even if I spend more money or spend more time, I'm putting out the appropriate amount of brain power to do something more than just consume. And who knows, one day one of those fucking ideas will hit, you know? I've sent off feelers of the popcorn idea to friends. Our feelers are like tester samples and stuff. Everybody says it's really good. They enjoy it. So I'm still testing different kernels and suppliers to make sure that it's the texture that I want, you know, because there's more than one place that I can get kernels from. So I'm exploring that, you know, and like, cool, that's the thing that hits, it hits, you know. I could be the fucking popcorn guy, or I could be the aeronautical accessories guy. Because aeronautical accessories, guess what? They're not fucking cheap. I think that's a helipad there. Aeronautical accessories are not fucking cheap. You know, you can buy a driver's course or something. You can buy a phone mount for a dashboard of a car, but you buy one that's made for aviation, and it's like fucking 10 times the price because it's made for aviation. Close. Oh yeah, I saw a shit ton of, see them all in the distance there popping up like a million fucking spots to land on. Get rid of this actually. So yeah, long story short, could I buy something? Yes. Would I much rather make something? Because there's always a potential for a business on the other side of it. Even more, yes. Ooh, big buildings rendering in up here. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, like everything's sellable. If you can make something and you can make it at a quality that's consumable, you know? Like there's some people who just aren't talented at making things, obviously. There's a lot of people who just can't put anything together with any sort of quality. But if you can, then always attempt to build or sell something, in my opinion, you know? If you can, and it's, what am I trying to say? It also doesn't matter if that product exists somewhere else. There is a popular holster brand that I've been using for a long time for my pistols called T-Rex Arms. Started by a guy named Lucas, but him and the rest of the company had a falling out, so he left the company that he started back 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. I think you can hook up a jump pack to it, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, so he started this company a long time ago making the Kydex hard plastic holsters for pistols. A lot of people do that. A lot of people make excuse me. Oof. A lot of people make holsters. But what he did was he did it better in some aspects, and in some aspects it wasn't better. He did it better in some aspects. He provided like quality customer support, like over quality customer support, training, education, and he provided all of that with the marketing of his holsters. A whole bunch of places around here. Shitty visibility though. So anyways, he made an extremely successful business, like tens of millions of dollars a year sort of business. Ended up selling his portions to his other business partners, so he got out of it. I don't want to say made off like a bandit, but did very, very good for himself and is doing very good and is going to be starting other businesses that I'm very confident will be successful. And it was one of those things where anybody could have said, like, well, why are you making holsters? You know, there's like 15 other brands who make holsters. You don't have to make holsters. You can just go buy one. But he saw that there was something lacking in the market. And I think there's a lot lacking in the market in the aviation industry. Sure, there's a lot of good places with customer service or with free customer education on different topics and aspects and whatever else. Yeah, sure, of course. But nobody's doing it in like certain ways I'm looking at it. You know, you have to find the holes in the markets of things that you're knowledgeable on, things that you know how to do, things that you know how to design, or you know how to talk to people or hire people to design or help with certain things. And if you can work through that sort of thing, I mean, you can become really fucking successful. Just like there's plenty of people who made fucking aviation helmets. And then Lift Aviation comes out with their super fucking sick carbon fiber ones, and yeah, it doesn't do some things as good as like an old school like Gentex or like Evolution helmets or something, you know. Like, they stepped out of the box. They have really cool marketing for their stuff, really good customer service from what I understand. Everybody there is super nice. They try to talk about the reasons why they did certain design aspects on the helmet, and they have a super successful business. They could have just went and fucking got a helmet for $2,500 from Gentex, or they can put the fucking elbow grease in, design their own helmets, and sell their own helmets for $2,500. Or at least they're a Core 2.1 version. They're 1 point whatever. So they're like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. Either way, yeah, sure, you can just go buy something. But I'd much rather invent something. I'd much rather design and put something together that ends up being comparable and better in some ways, but then provide that better customer service, provide better back end for people who are using the products. Boy, I feel like we're in fucking Beijing. Is this fog or is it just smog? Is this area in fucking Malaysia shitty? I want to find a heliport to land at. There's a million places around. Let me actually just zoom in. Okay, we're getting up to where there's a million places. We're close. Just leave this on and maybe they'll start populating nearby. Let's see. Minera Bank Mega. That sounds fucking cool. G-Lex. Fucking G-Lex. VJT836. If anybody's in the chat, you can look up VJT836. I'm curious what it is. Global Bombardier. Where's that Bank Mega? It looks like it's one on the other side of this here. If it's low to the ground, I don't want to do it. I want a fucking tower. The CEO building, executive office. Okay, Bank Mega looks like it's a kind of low building, so we're gonna come over here to downtown. Pick somewhere tall. Places all around. Okay, we're going to pick one of these buildings up here in front of us, kind of in the center. Looks like they're padded. Here in front of us, maybe the tallest padded ones around. Okay, we're continuing to slow down. Let's go ahead and drop the gear down. We're at 3 green, so we'll be good to land. 1 green, 2 green, 3 green, so we are good to set down. Currently we have wind coming up our ass, so we're going to do a circling approach on the second building. We'll be landing directly from the other side of this building right here. Which looks like they do have published ins and outs on the actual roof itself. I'm not going to listen to that. We're in the Trump mobile right here. If y'all are unaware, we're in the Donald Trump edition S76. Okay, now we're lined up here on final. We're a little low as far as what I want to be. That's okay. We'll just keep her coming straight in. About here. Gear is down, parking brake is off. If my co-pilot would fucking talk to me, she could have told me that. Stopping forward speed. A little gusty here and there. That's fine. Okay, let's see how squared we are. Okay, we're a little off to the right. That's fine. The whole stick thing is weird. So we're still slightly off of that. Anyways, we're gonna pick back up. Start our loop forward. Going to get gear up. Start our right turn out of here. I don't know if those are walking paths off the helipad, or those are paths in and out. We're close. We are 50 nautical miles from final destination. Overfly whatever stadium's here in fucking Malaysia. Got our airspeed back. We are executive cruising again. 155 knot ground speed. What's up, fucking footballers? So 150 knots, 50 miles or so, and about 20 minutes or so until we hit to a destination. So. Random tower thing. I can fuck somebody. I think it's pollution. I don't even know what this fucking town's called. Airport code WIII. Name of the airport is Soemarmo Hatta International. Yeah, we're in northwest Malaysia. And even if you were to tell me what town this is, I probably don't fucking know where it's at anyways, other than I know where we're at on the map. Yeah, I'm thinking it's pollution because it was not like this until we got to this area. The airport code is wee. It looks like that one's going to wah. That one's going to wicked, or coming from. But W-I-I-I. Wee. Let's see if we can get above the approach traffic. They're at 600 feet. Let's go up to 4,000 or so. We're right here at the fucking airport. I'm probably not in the best place. Got plenty of elevation above our altitude, above anybody who's going directly under us. But we're not leaving much to be desired for anybody that might need to do a go around. He's at 2,000 feet. We're at 1,800 feet. Of course, he is descending, or he will be here shortly. But we just want to put as much ups as we can, you know. Pollution here's fucking ridiculous, though. Jakarta. I've heard of Jakarta. So is Jakarta pollution? Is this what we're dealing with? It looks like there's also cloud up here that's not pollution. So once we get past the approach path, we may be in some IMC conditions for a little bit. Okay, up there at 1,500 feet, we're at 2,200, so kind of close. 1,000-foot separation would have been optimal, but we're clear. Make sure we're keeping our course here at like a 280 or so. There's got to be pollution. LAN 127 is a go around. Because of me. Dude, some guy's playing simulator. You have to go around. Actually, fuck it. We're just going to keep this altitude right here. We got a snazzy helicopter with some good forward airspeed and pretty solid avionics. Also has an SAS system, so if we get super in shitty trouble, then we can always activate that, but I'm not worried about a little cloud touch here. Worked through sparks, though. Out of the cloud, let's work our way down. We are 32 miles from destination. I can pretty much see it up there, because we're looking at the coastline. Oh, that's a little bay thing right here. We're going to go over the bay. Shit, it's not an alternator. What the fuck's it called inside of the fucking motorcycle? It's not an alternator, but it does the alternator job. I can't think right now. Is it that? Is your bike just not creating enough electricity for the ECU and everything to work? So either your battery is shit, check the date on that, or the stator, that's it, or stator could not be producing. Maybe check your stator output. Because I know I had a, was it my ZX-10? Yeah, my ZX-10 was being fucky after I got it. and one leg of the stator was dead. It's charging. Which mine was charging, but just enough. Weird. Yep, cleared up now that we got out of Jakarta. Fucking pollution-ass Malaysian people, Jesus. I have not attempted any sort of instrument stuff in it today. The only IFR we did was literally just flying through a cloud. So more or less an IMC condition type thing. Also, Malcolm, welcome to the stream. Have not sort of done any sort of approaches with it yet. And I will put a little bit of disclaimer. I don't know how much of that I will do. The big thing being my control setup that I have is if you search online, the Apache Simulator's R44 setup. It's not a self-centering cyclic. So if I were to let go of my cyclic right now, it falls over to the side. Or it falls forward or falls backwards, whatever. So it's most helicopter or most autopilot systems in the simulator itself aren't super friendly with my controls. I've been able to do it in the Hype Performance Group H160. That's because on their little tablet EFB they have, there's a setting but there's a setting where you can put it as your cyclic as a non-centering cyclic. So I can make the H160 do stuff. But even with that, it's my knowledge on autopilot systems is very limited. I pretty much just do heading, altitude, and speed on that, and set it and forget it. I don't really try to do much with the programming points and dealing with it. Let me get my laser pointer here. And dealing with all this. It's not something I do flying right now in real life. I picked helicopters for a reason, because I like actually being involved doing stuff. So I don't know if that's something I'm ever going to be really teaching myself. Plus, right now we're over fucking Malaysia. And if I really want to do like ILS type stuff, I would probably start practicing back in the US, where I can actually use my Garmin Pilot 4Flight type app on my phone to get all the information and shit like that. I don't know how readily available it is over here, or how I would need to look it up. Even if you are hand flying, presumably you can still use the FMS to give you flight directors and just do precision approaches. True. I've also yet to train instrument in real life, so my knowledge on instrument procedures are very minimal. More or less, I understand how the instruments work, as far as what all the gauges show me, and in their relationship to the actual systems of the helicopter itself. I think like the only, I don't want to call this practical experience, but really the only practical experience was whatever the simulator itself taught, doing the licensing stuff in the career mode. And at that point, I still didn't even pay that much attention to it. I just was working through the licenses to be able to do the different stuff in the career mode itself. And right now we're actually going to a helipad, so there's no published instrument stuff for here as far as I know. Yeah, no charts available or anything for it. But what I'll do after we land, because when we're doing my around the world thing, since this is my first time seeing you in here, we kind of focus on doing what's known that I know how to do for the around the world bit, which is fly and not crash. And then once we make it to our solid location, and I sit down and kind of lock in our progress for the day, I'll do a little shenanigan session where we go wherever in the world, and we'll do auto rotations and weird approaches and flying like fucking Top Gun through the Grand Canyon or whatever, you know. So what, we're 9 nautical miles right now, doing 170 knots ground speed. We're going to be there in just a second, and we'll finish up this leg. And what I'll do, I'll spawn over to my local airport, where I'm relatively familiar with their procedures, even though I've never flown those particular instrument procedures. And we'll see how this does, because this is my first time flying the S-76 also, during the around the world bit here at the stream, so. Also, I'm assuming you probably found me from the Cowan Sim Discord, I would assume, if you pop in here and ask about S-76 stuff, because I'm not mentioning S-76 in the title or thumbnail or anything, so if you're here looking for that, I assume you're probably from the Cowan group. Oh yeah. Which, do you have the Hype 160 or Hype 145 yet? Because I've barely dabbled with air auto stuff, but usually it's just whatever's on the EFB. I do know that as soon as I click AP1 and AP2 here, it really fucks with my trimming and stuff like that. Which also something with this helicopter that I was battling earlier. This is me holding the cyclic completely straight. Maybe a little bit forward, but like this helicopter is really, really demanding of right cyclic during forward flight. I don't know if that's something wrong with the model, if I'm doing something wrong. Another thing that's bugging me with this so far, I'm barely moving my feet. But just the vastness of movement from the anti-torque pedals themselves kind of throws me off. It also seems like there's a significant lack of right pedal authority when you're in ground effect hover. Which once we get down here and like I said, we're like 5 minutes away. We'll go through shutdown. Also, I've never shut down this helicopter before. We've only started it up once. But once we shut down, I'll spawn over to my home airport and I'll diddle around with this some more just to see what it's like. Don't have any of the high pillows yet. Did they have anything to do with the 225? I didn't know they had anything to do with the 225. The 225 was weird for me. It's thrown me off a few times for how some of it works. I've really only flown it now over super long distance stuff where like we did not the Aleutian Islands, but whatever Russian islands go down to the northern tip of Japan. Like I think we've only done it on that leg just because I needed this 700 miles of range or whatever it was. Because I didn't want to fly. Okay, so let's see. We're slowing down here. I don't know if there's a speed for dropping the gear, but we're going to wait till like 60 knots is what we've been doing. We're below 69. Nice, we'll take it. Gear is actuating. 1 green, 2 green, 3 greens. Cool, we're good. Parking brake is off currently. Kind of boogered that because I was looking down. Let's see, we got wind kind of quartering right front. So we're basically on our approach path now. 30 knots, we're still above ETL. See, it just looks, it mentally throws me off that there's that much right pedal in there. Because I know I am, like, I'm looking at my feet now below my headset. I am not putting that much right pedal in, and that's throwing me off. Okay, we got a hover. We're going to turn 90 to the right. Okay, so there is more pedal authority there. It's just the way it looks, with how much the throw is there, it just throws me off. Kind of centered up on the circle there. We're in line with the H. We can rotate left a little bit more. And down. Let's see. Parking brake goes on. We can roll the throttles down. Got those on idle power now. How do we look on the outside? Pretty good. Happy with that. Yeah. Okay, idle's down. Main gearbox pressure, obviously, since we're a lower idle, it's fine. Understandable. Engine 2, adjust throttle to stop. Is it going to do anything, or do I have to cut fuel? Engine 2 PSI dropping. Okay, so, yep, we do stop the engines like that. We don't need to do fuel cuts. But we can go and turn that fuel control off, since that engine's dead now. I'm going to turn you off too, because I don't care that much. These helicopters are all rentals, because we're going to fly something else on the next episode. Get you off, seatbelts on. You can turn that off. Y'all can unbuckle now. But don't need a fucking rotor brake. Now you can close. Got those off. Oh, nope, I want to leave master battery on for a second. Those are off. Blade is stopped. Parking brake is on. Let's go and get rid of the EFB. And battery off. Shift C. Okay, so as far as the around the world section of today's stream goes, we made it. We're now in the northern part of the island here in Malaysia. Next time we're going to go look for tigers over there. Because I had a viewer request tigers, so we're going to look for that. And for now, though, we're going to go do shenanigans and do some more testing on the S-76. So if you're here for the Around the World bit, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. But if you want to watch shenanigans, we are going to go do that now. End flight. So yeah, we're currently here. And since I know that you're new to the streams, Malcolm, we started all the way over in the US. We did an Australian bit here. All the way up through here, Japan, Russia, Alaska, back down. We started over at my home airport here in Georgia, which is where we're going to go now. Let's see. Set as departure. Let's make the time be nice outside at least. Weather, live weather, take that off, save and back. Start flight. Again, go see her. Fuck off. It's my airport and I like it. I'm a simple man. We did Australia. Yep. I mean, the name of the series is Around the World, flying around the world in helicopters. So, or helicopter around the world, whatever it is. Yeah, it's been a long fucking trip. Let's see. Okay, shift C. Let's hop in here. My chair feels broken. That's great. Okay, so the cyclic feels normal now. Where I'm holding up and down. Before, it was like when I was holding it straight up and down, it was like way over here. I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was me clicking autopilot buttons or trim buttons or something earlier. Who knows? Battery on. Turn the master starter into the on position. We're going to need these to piss off so they're not in my face. We need primers on. Oh, those were already in idle. Let's see. Starters on. Those are good. Those are good. Those are good. Those are good. Cool. Clear. We're going to start engine 2 first this time, just because we're different. We could be halfway, but I want to do a little South America section too. So, no. We are not halfway. Let's see, engine 2 generator on here in a second. Once that gets a little speed. Oh, up. There we go. Starter on that one. Test on that one first. That's good to go. Avionics on, radio on, inverters on. We can roll throttle up. Why were you in stop? No, you're good. Turn the primes off. What did I hit? What's wrong? Why are you not doing it? What's wrong? What's wrong? Fuel? Oh. Who leaves their fuel handles off? That's wild. What an idiot. Yep, hello, engine speed. Yeah, with lots of brakes. So far, with the brakes, it's been around 100 days from when we started. Matt, you know you aren't in Malaysia. Is it Malaysia? I don't give a fuck where we're at. We're not in Australia. We're somewhere in... Is it Indonesia again? I don't know. I just finished doing my almost around the world Citation X, going from New York, USA to New Zealand, the long way around. It's safe to say cruising at Mach 0.9 is a bit faster. Damn right it is. Okay. Let's see. Does it give me any stuff here? Or info. Charts. FAA. Okay. Minimum, sure, don't care. Approaches, arrivals. I've honestly never fucked around with this. Oh, that's inbound. Buckhead 3. It just doesn't feel like it's fucking for here, but... That does seem okay. That's all big picture shit. Not what I care about. Let's see. Why am I turning my head to the fucking side? What am I, stupid? Holy shit. God, my neck was killing me. I'm fucking retarded. Oh. Okay, so here, parking brakes on, okay? Why are you doing this? Why's my... what? Okay, chill. Goodness. G, 73,000 kilometers total. I mean, the dudes here, not here, Canada, Pilot Yellow on YouTube, I think they took a 66 around the world. Okay, so there's runway 6 approach there. Hey, cool, it's the right Unicom frequency and everything. That's neat. Oh, cool. I guess they did pull this straight from the FAA, so. FAA charts. Intended? Oh, intended for flight simulation only, not for navigational use. It's no fun. Yeah, helicoptering around the world in real life would be fun. It's something I wouldn't mind doing given the opportunity. But also there's a lot of fucking places I don't care to visit. Like, I don't know if that makes me sound like ungrateful for the opportunity, but like, I don't want to eat Indian food or like any like South Central Asian food, Indian, Pakistan, like desert. Like I don't care. I don't want to care. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to eat that shit. So yeah, it could be fun, but I don't want to touch that shit with a fucking 20-foot pole. So, like, I get it. Let's see. Let me check this real quick. Pardon me, guys. Let's see. Does it give... Wasn't even fucking paying attention. Approaches. Has RNAV stuff, but... They have Mac's in it. I don't want to fucking eat McDonald's. With the exception of Chick-fil-A, like, once every 2 or 3 months, I haven't touched fast food in 12 years. Maybe more. Cool. So GPS approach set up there. They don't have... Let's see, does... Cool. Atlanta should have a fucking ILS approach, right? You would assume. There we go. ILS for 8 left. Missed approach climb to 1500 and turn. Localizer 1093. Excuse me. Okay, so that's more on that. Also, I have little to no idea what the fuck I'm doing here, so... Like, I understand how it's supposed to work. But I'm a VFR helicopter guy. I would like to be an instrument helicopter guy. I did not click that. I would like to be an instrument helicopter guy. Anything? Get off the screen. Don't see anything changing. see. That's radio. Nav receive, DMEs. Looking for a localizer. Whatever will take gear up on the ground. Nope. Oh, also GPS just saw that. See you, dude. Thanks for dropping in. Localizer 193. Hey, that's me. Oh, nav 2, here we go. Nav 1. Okay, so let's see. There we go. 1093. That's what I want. That there. .1093. I'm going to set them all to 1093. So no matter what button I press, I'm somewhere in the right area. 193. Okay, so let's see, localizer 1093, that's there. Go 108 left. 8 left, very far north one. Cool. Let's just fucking try it. We'll see what it pops up. Park and brake off. Don't care. We're fucking sending it.
Kilo Victor Papa, Charlie Automated Weather Observation. 0300 Zulu.
KVPC. I'm not a fucking KVPC.
Niner. Sky condition clear. Temperature 15C dew point. 13C altimeter 29992.
Let's get off this channel. Don't want to listen to anybody talk. We're just going to go to KHMP traffic. Okay, let's see if we can figure out an ILS approach. We're going to go 8 left. Let's see. Let's put my tablet back up here. Let's see. We'll work ourselves up to 2,900 feet. Let's go 3,000 feet. Let's see if we can grab that path on the way in. Map. Off with your little airplane citation skills, you know? Bust this fucking Bravo like it ain't nothing. Yeah. Fuck me. Actually, since we're doing this, I need to figure out what. Fuck me. I need to figure out what. Hartsfield Jackson, nearest airport. Airport's further from me. Altimeter 2992, so we're good on that. Back. To traffic, shut up. Okay, cool. Yeah, he said you're fucking crazy. There's no such thing as blade oil. Blade oil is just made up by Big Blade to get you to spend money on stuff. Aiming for 3,000. That's Hartsfield right there. So we're going to come way out here and see if we can pick up an approach path. I know blade oil exists in some weird fucked up world, but not in like real people's world, you know. So we can throw a bit more power at this. Not that much. Okay, so cool. Nav screen starting to pick some stuff up. It is not 50 degrees out here. I'll tell you that. That would be nice. And maybe they have blade oil in Australia. Maybe you're the crazy one. No, we're not a mechanic, we're pilots, you fucking idiot. Duh. Learn about the aircraft. I'll wiggle this stick and the helicopter goes forward. Okay, cool. We're just over 3,000 feet now, so we'll work our way out this way, which we may have to be lower, actually. What's the distance away from the airport on that ILS? Let's see, so at 2,900 feet. good direction or distance to get in there. If we're zoomed in enough, we get points. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? What point do we need to be at? Open. Bazaar or shill? Bazaar. Direct to. At Bazaar. 29. Cool. So hopefully this puts us where we need to be to intercept some sort of approach. We do learn about the aircraft. Not that much though. They don't go that deep into it. Boy, we had some fucking speed there. Was he trying to text and drive? Not a good thing together. Okay, it looks like that DME that we have programmed in is 11 miles away. That sounds about right. Because I believe that the ILS that we were looking at... Fuck you. Give me a thing. So Marie. 11.7 at Bazaar. So my DME now showing 11.9 as we're now just past Bazaar. I need to be up about 200 feet. 2,900 crossing. I don't know where that particular nav thing is pointing. But we're at 29 now, at Bazaar. Heading into a left. No idea what I'm doing. Intercom. Nav. Nope. I'm sure it's here. I've got no fucking clue though. Malcolm, I don't know if you're watching, but I'm embarrassing the shit out of myself. I've got no fucking clue how this works. DME is hick though. Seems that might be the one that's on the airport itself. Nope. You sucky, that's me. I'm just fucking up people's approaches here, they can get over it. They can fly through me. Which we have the navs in. way off the path now anyways, but if we were on approach path, we'd be over here somewhere. Oh no, I see little green things. So those are there. I think if we get straight on with 8 left, we're looking at our thing there. It should show us lining up with it, which we're high on the path. Okay, Malcolm, I don't know if you're watching, but I want you to know that I'm slowly figuring it out. I'm so confident about what I've just discovered. G. Oh no, I'm way below the path now because I was busy doing that. Okay. High on the path, we're to the right of it. So I need to come left. Because I've got no fucking clue where we're at. Okay, we're just above the glide path now. Actually, I can come a little bit lower, in fact. I think we're still fucking low, because I can see fucking trees here. And we're following the plane in. Or was I wrong about what the thing is? Okay, okay, so the path is beneath me. Okay. I mean, my decision height is blown, but, you know. Okay, yeah, so the approach stuff does work for ILS. I just don't know how to use it, but it does work. If anybody's wondering what I'm looking at here. Oop, screen tearing. I'm looking at this little green box here, and there's a green box over here, which we're now past the ILS transmitter. So that's no longer a thing. Let me get rid of the clouds again real quick. Up. We're gonna go to super speed real quick. There you go. Okay, let's see how far away Atlanta is real quick. Direct to 6 miles. Cool. So what we'll do, I'll set up the weather again, but nicer. No. I want clouds to the ground. So I want them like 200 feet above the ground. 200 feet above the ground. Coverage. I want full coverage. Or I want a lot right now until we get turned around. What's my current altitude? 1500-ish. Cool, so we're shooting for 29. Because that will put us out at Bazaar again. Yep, there's Bazaar. Your mom is a full subject. 2 semesters on her. Okay, so let's start making our turn. Bazaar is right over here. Okay, we're gonna fog ourselves in. Coverage. Our heading should be 8. Okay, I'm pretty happy with our altitude here. Okay, the runway is to our right. I think we need to come down. Actually, the fact that it's not there yet is concerning, so I'm going to go up while continuing to feed to the right. Don't want to lose altitude. I'll rather keep it like we are here. Actually, I want to go up some more. I want more altitude because I want to break through. Okay, so we're in line with the runway now. We can turn our course back to 8. Just a little bit right of the runway now. Shut up, stop beating at me. That's probably why it's complaining, because we're not going anywhere. riveting stuff here, guys. Sorry. Way off path there. Start coming down as well. Gotta be fucking close. Yeah, we're just gonna intercept at 1500. Centered up again. Ah. I don't know who the fuck keeps moving the runway. Glide path is above us and to the left of us. It's way to the left of us. Okay, so we should be more on it here, because I can see the runway now. It's just hard to fucking fly with it. Not having a direct glide slope like an airplane does. So basically what I'm trying to do is keep this in the middle there and keep this in the middle there. And that brings you to where you're tuned into, which is basically these little antennas here. It can keep beeping at me. Mama's full subject levies when you say that. Mama's a full spool. That makes no sense. Has had multiple kids and been shit in? Those were good times for me. You fry 2 sensor. Yeah, I've also never tried to fly instruments before in my life, so that's my disclaimer. Okay, though, real talk. It's fucking 12:21. Shut up. The gear's going down. What else do you want? hard autos with hard turns. Let's tilt back on the rotor blade, see if we can get a tail strike. Nope. Anyways, parking brake. Anyways. Oops, not what I wanted to press. I want to press Shift C. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna... That's not the person that was sitting in the fucking passenger seat. Is it? No, that... Oh. Guess Marie's wearing a suit. Okay. Wait, what are the people in the back? Are there people in the back? Right, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Mr. Six Spear Thumb, weird to see you up this late, but I guess you're not working right now, so that could explain that. I'll let y'all chat a little bit. Malcolm, there could be a flight director. I've got no fucking clue. But you're talking to somebody, the most instrument work I've ever done was what just happened right there. Is there a flight director? Maybe. Who knows? If there is, I've got no fucking clue how to do it. There's buttons on things. This might be a thing. That might be a thing. This has a whole bunch of fucking buttons on it. I mean, obviously there's the GPS thing here. That's like your standard Garmin setup. That does have flight director stuff that can be programmed in. Then there's this fucking thing, which is all like airline style, big airplane shit. And that's way beyond my knowledge of what to even think about. So, maybe. See me tomorrow. Okay, I guess I'm coming up there tomorrow. But, yeah, text me. I'll come up tomorrow. We do something fun. I'm not flying until Tuesday, hopefully. But, yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Slower night tonight, but we have to make progress somewhere. So, see ya!